The voice out in the desert. While Black YouTube is looking on, divesting, men going their own way, leveling up, there's a lot of selfishness. There's a lot of pass the blame around, but people are not looking at simple solutions. You know, I like to listen to Jordan Peterson when he said clean your room. It's a very important thing. Sad to say, I don't clean my room a lot. My wife does it. I have to thank her. But yes, clean your room is something which says when you want to start life, you want to make something better, start with your room. And what he actually meant was start with yourself. We will find it hard to have any impact on anyone else but ourselves. We normally think, hey, we can change others and we can change the world, but yet we do not look at changing ourselves. Now I wanted to take a deep dive into marriages, and I wanted to look at college-educated people and how they marry. It was astounding. It was astounding to see the disparity between black women and black men with college graduation rates. Now they were looking in a specific age range to see this, right? But also, what we can't ignore is that white women are also earning more college degrees than white men. So it is flipping. It's not that men are failing, but there is a belief that men are losing faith in the old adage that get yourself a tertiary education to have a good life. That seems to be changing quite a bit. People are now, I think, more concentrated on maybe earning skilled trades, maybe truck driving, maybe it is working in a warehouse. But the key thing is, there is a trend change. So a lot more women are marrying down. Now, every time we talk about black men, a number that keeps popping up is somewhere between 20 and 23%. We know that 23% of black men actually live in the upper middle class. But what was funny is that 20% of black men actually are more educated than their mates. I'm kind of seeing a little trend here. But what's happening is, when you look at marriage rates, educated black women have a much lower marriage rate than white women. This is creating a problem. There are a lot of educated women who are there in this world without a mate, and this is creating problems. Now, some people say, hey, you know, if you look back, I think Tyler Perry was trying to tell those women that they have to marry down. Get you a plumber, get you someone in the skilled trades. I don't actually think that's marrying down anymore, because have you checked how much it is to get a plumber to fix anything in your house? An electrician, by God, that's expensive. So what I'm thinking is that we are at a stage now where people have to make choices. And I think the choices are simple. I think that we have to consider that plumbers, electricians, truck drivers, they are skilled technicians. They're entrepreneurs. And I don't see anything wrong with them as mates, because when you think about it, you have to spend 4 to 5 years to build your reputation as a skilled tradesman. Maybe 4 to 5 years to get the truck. I mean, you probably drive for a company and you take some time before you go out as an independent contractor and you own the truck or you do a truck lease. These men need to be respected because these men are actually earning good money. Men still earn more money than women, regardless of these education rates in college. But let's look at it from a black perspective. From a black perspective, I believe in leveling up, and I think that a lot of black men need to focus a lot on improving themselves. Whether it be in the skill trades, whether it be in entrepreneurial, they need to level up. You know, I was listening to something that, you know, like Amazon. Amazon actually likes to hire small companies to do deliveries for them. There's so many opportunities now, several opportunities, but it takes first initiative. Well, it takes some capital, it takes integrity. You got to keep your nose clean. I mean, you can't get a criminal record. That's something that it takes a long time to get rid of something, get rid of the stain of that. And it always haunts people. So it's something to keep their nose clean. But one thing I want to say is that marriage is important. That is a strong foundation that has helped a lot of children to rear them into the world. And then as time has evolved, I've seen where people are entering into maybe a situation where they are partners, long-term partners without getting married. I disagree with that type of lifestyle, but I see some people trying that. I see some people ending up being extremely good co-parents. That takes a lot of maturity on both sides, both the man and the woman. So something I'm seeing that is popping up. But from the black perspective, what's important for black women, I think, is that I'm not worried about the college rate difference, the gaps, because it seems like women are becoming more in the white collar professions while men are going back a bit more into the blue collar professions. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think people should deal with self-improvement. I've met very intelligent technicians, and it's, knowledge. I went to university, and I can tell you most of my education happened after university. It happened on the job. It happened in my own personal reading. So people have to invest in themselves. There's no doubt about that. So my thought is, I tend to agree a bit with Tyler Perry. Women should not just focus on college-educated people. And trust me, I'm a university-educated person. But I think that if a person is progressive and they're ambitious, they should be good candidates. I don't know. What do you think? I grew up in the 80s and 90s. And one thing I'll never forget, in the 90s, it was R&B's time to sing the ode to black women. We had Boyz II Men, Shy, we had H-Town, we had, sad to say, R. Kelly. And it was always about singing about love. We had Mary J. Blige talking about real love. We had TLC singing Don't Chase Waterfalls, Stick to the river and the streams that you're used to. It was all aimed at black love. We had Morris Chestnut, Shamar Moore, Nia Long, Vivica Fox. We all remembered it. What a wonderful time. Black love. Being in the embrace of those strong chocolate arms. Looking in your mate, your beautiful mate, her eyes, hugging her, pulling her close. That was what black love promised. Today, black love is under attack. It's under attack because many are now looking elsewhere for love and affection. There's nothing wrong with that. We can live with both black love and people exploring other options. But people should not denigrate black love. It's still around.